Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears, or should we say, lend one to Donald Trump. In a Shakespearean twist to the 2024 election campaign, an attempt was made on Donald Trump's life in which he survived unscathed, save for a shard of glass hitting his ear. So what unfolded? What were the motivations for the attempt? And what does this event mean going forward in terms of the elections and the fabric of American society as a whole going forward? Get ready for an earful of political intrigue. On the evening of July 13, 2024, the air was thick with anticipation at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Former President Donald Trump, a larger-than-life figure to his supporters, was in the midst of delivering a fiery speech when suddenly the unthinkable happened. A sharp crack rang out, silencing the vociferous crowd in an instant. A bullet fired from an AR-15 style rifle shattered the teleprompter. The high-velocity shard of glass from the teleprompter flew through the air, grazing Trump's upper right ear. Blood began to trickle down his face, marking the moment with a stark crimson streak. In a split second, Secret Service agents sprang into action, forming a human shield around the former president. The crowd, now a sea of confusion and panic, watched in horror as Trump was whisked off the stage, clutching his wounded ear. The shooter, identified as Thomas Matthew Crooks, had positioned himself on a rooftop 430 feet away. He fired 8 rounds before being swiftly neutralized by the Secret Service's counter-sniper team. Crooks was killed instantly, but not before his actions had left an indelible mark on the rally. Trump was immediately taken to a hospital and released in stable condition. Remarkably, he made a public appearance just 2 days later at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. This incident has prompted significant scrutiny of security measures at political events, with President Biden ordering an independent review. The event has drawn comparisons to past assassination attempts on political figures and has sparked discussions on the need for increased security and a reduction in heated political rhetoric. Thomas Matthew Crooks, Trump's would-be assassin, was a 20-year-old kitchen worker from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Crooks, a 2022 Bethel Park High School graduate, worked at a local nursing home and attended the Community College of Allegheny County, graduating with high honors in engineering science. He was a registered Republican, but had also donated to a liberal campaign group in 2021. Crooks belonged to the Clairton Sportsmen's Club, which has a high-power rifle facility. His father reportedly purchased the AR-style rifle used in the attack, and Crooks had bought ammunition on the day of the rally. Authorities have not identified a clear motive, though Crooks had previously searched for symptoms of depressive disorder and images of both Trump and Biden, as well as watching X-rated videos a few hours before carrying out the attack. His family is cooperating with investigators, and the FBI is examining his phone and digital evidence for clues. Crooks acted alone, but investigations are ongoing to determine if he had any accomplices at the rally. The attack failed to kill the former president, but tragically resulted in the death of Corey Compertor, a 50-year-old volunteer fire chief, and injuries to David Dutch and James Copenhaver, both in stable condition. Compertor was described by his sister Dawn Compertor Schaefer as a hero who shielded his daughters from the gunfire. His wife Helen and daughter Allison recounted how he protected them with his body during the chaos. Pennsylvania's Governor Josh Shapiro ordered flags to fly at half-mast in Corey's honor, and a GoFundMe campaign for his family quickly surpassed its fundraising goal. The assassination attempt has also sparked a flood of concerns and conspiracy theories, highlighting significant failures by the U.S. Secret Service. In the aftermath of the failures at the rally, the FBI took charge of the investigation, while the Secret Service faced scrutiny for its handling of the event. The primary issue revolves around how the shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks, managed to access the roof of a building just 430 feet from Trump. This area was identified as a vulnerability beforehand, but was not adequately secured. Reports indicate that the line of sight from the rooftop to the stage should have been obstructed, but this crucial measure was overlooked. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas highlighted these oversights, suggesting that a more comprehensive security plan was needed. Eyewitnesses reported seeing Crooks on the roof with a rifle, yet despite these warnings, there was a significant delay before the situation was addressed. Local police had noted Crooks's suspicious behavior near the event magnetometers, but this information was allegedly not effectively communicated to the Secret Service. Reports suggested that crooks had even scouted the area using a drone and had been identified as suspicious by local law enforcement prior to the event. However, this information did not seem to reach the Secret Service in time to prevent the shooting. Another critical point of contention is the reliance on local police for certain security aspects. The shooter fired from a secondary ring area, which was patrolled by local and state officers rather than the Secret Service. This arrangement has been criticized for lacking a clear plan on how to handle threats, as noted by former Secret Service agent Jonathan Wackrow. The county sheriff acknowledged a systemic failure, stating that no single party was to blame, but rather a collective breakdown in security protocols. Questions have also been raised about whether the event was adequately resourced. Jason Chaffetz, a former chair of the House Oversight Committee, suggested that the Secret Service might have been spread too thin, affecting their ability to secure such a high-profile event properly. The Secret Service denied claims that it rebuffed requests for increased staffing, yet the incident has cast a spotlight on potential resource shortages. In the wake of these failures, Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle resigned, acknowledging the agency's shortcomings. Her resignation followed a heated congressional hearing where both Democrats and Republicans grilled her over the apparent lapses in security. In her resignation letter, Cheadle expressed regret over the agency's inability to protect the former president adequately. Moving forward, Secret Service officials have reportedly advised Trump's campaign to avoid outdoor rallies, which are harder to secure. Instead, they are recommending more controlled indoor environments, such as sports arenas, where security can be more tightly managed. Initial questions and concerns about security failures and questions that remained unanswered inevitably led to a surge of conspiracy theories quickly spread across social media as people tried to fill in the gaps themselves. Theories range from allegations that the event was staged to garner sympathy for Trump, to claims that it was part of a larger plot by the so-called deep state, or even an inside job orchestrated by Trump's own team. These theories were fueled by the apparent discrepancies in the official narrative and the rapid dissemination of speculative posts. One post questioned how a bullet could have grazed Trump's ear without continuing its trajectory into the crowd, suggesting the scene was staged. A mix of politically motivated narratives amplified this skepticism, as people from both the left and the right stamping their own brand of speculation onto the events in Butler. On the left, the term Blue Anon emerged, referring to conspiracy theories propagated by liberal-leaning individuals. These theories posited that Trump might have staged the attack to create a narrative of victimhood and bolster his campaign. On the right, some supporters speculated about a second shooter, comparing it to the grassy knoll theory from the JFK assassination. This idea was fueled by eyewitness accounts and videos showing a possible second shooter on a nearby water tower, despite official statements from the FBI and Secret Service confirming that Thomas Crooks acted alone. Further complicating the narrative were reports of coordinated attempts to spread false information. Cyabra, an Israeli disinformation analysis firm, identified numerous fake accounts pushing the narrative that Trump staged the shooting. These accounts, many of which were automated or operated under false identities, contributed to the rapid spread of conspiracy theories, with some posts garnering millions of views. So where do we go from here? Historically, violence has been a part of American politics, with notable incidents such as the 2011 shooting of Democratic Congresswoman Gabby Giffords in the 1981 assassination attempt on President Reagan, to say nothing of the successful assassinations of John F. Kennedy, James Garfield, and Abraham Lincoln. However, the violence in recent years has often been linked to a country that is increasingly polarizing. Political tribalism is in overdrive on both sides, who have come to see their compatriots with different views as enemies. Trump's brand feeds of confrontation and a brash style of speaking. Examples include the 2018 terror campaign by Cesar Sayoc, who mailed bombs to Trump critics, and the 2022 attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband by David DePape. The January 6 Capitol attack further exemplifies how Trump's influence has escalated political violence in America. While Trump has disavowed all of these events, his bombastic style has served as fuel for them. On the other side, a poll following the assassination attempt showed that 10% of Americans believe that violence is justified in order to stop Donald Trump becoming president. A further 24% are ambivalent and don't really care either way if Trump would be assassinated. Clearly, a small but clearly serious minority of Americans harbor desires for political violence against opponents and have the means to carry it out. The current political climate, marked by distrust and division, underscores the need for a collective effort to address and mitigate political violence in the country. Thankfully, though, for now, major violence has been avoided, and the failed assassination of Donald Trump may go down as one of history's most famous ear misses. Sorry, near misses.